Hey guys, it's me, the Alpha Empath. And I was asked by some nosy ass people within this group. And in particular, I have been asked and questioned over and over and over again by Mr. Cedric Lockhart. I think that's his name, Luckett. Whatever the hell his name is. He has been questioning me about, do I smoke weed? I have never smoked weed a day in my life, ever. Here's the thing. I grew up with a mom who was a crackhead, and she married a very well-off, financially established engineer that took very, very good care of us. And he was on cocaine, and he was a really, really bad alcoholic, and he would turn into this really mean, brutal, horrible guy when he got drunk. So as far as I was concerned, because drugs caused so much trauma for my life, so much violence, I stayed away from drugs. I was not one of those type of children that you had to tell, don't do drugs. I just never fucking did them, okay? My first alcoholic beverage, I was around 29 years of age. And I remember it turning me into a complete tramp. I remember that, and I was like, oh shit. I started acting like my mama when I get drunk, and I have no filter, none. Everything that I think comes out of my mouth when I get drunk. So I'm like, oh my God, people already have an issue with me as it already is. So alcohol is not really my thing either. Now, I might every now and then do a glass of wine if I'm cooking something with wine or something like that, and I cook with wine all the time, okay? Now, as it relates to cannabis, as I said, I don't smoke shit. I don't know how to do that. I think I might choke. I don't know what the hell might happen. I don't like cigarette smoke. I just don't do it. My first time even being introduced to cannabis, I had a girlfriend. She's still my girlfriend. You better watch who you hang around with, because they will fucking affect you, okay? And I had a girlfriend, and I remember I was at a time and a place in my life when that marriage that I was in, y'all, it was stressing me out. It was stressing me the fuck out. And I was right at that place where I was ready to leave him. And my girlfriend came over, and she said, let's get high. And I was like, I don't do that shit. And she's like, well, why don't you just eat this brownie? Because I like to eat, right? So she gave me a brownie. Now, I didn't know that it was a special brownie. I didn't know nothing about that at all. But within the next hour, I found that side of my mother being very sexually aggressive coming out. And because I damn sure didn't want to fuck the man that I was married to, I couldn't stand him, I ended up molesting the couch. It was bad, y'all. It was fucking bad. I was like, oh my, the couch felt so fucking good. It just did. So let me say this. When it comes to drugs, you have to define what a drug is. Now, I am not one of those people that's going to allow the FDA to tell me what a drug is. No, I don't trust them motherfuckers. I really, really don't. So I had to come up with my own definition of a drug because, as I said, I just felt like I didn't do drugs. Well, here's what a definition of a drug is. A drug is anything that you use to remove the effects of a transgression without requiring your complete and utter submission to obedience. Let me repeat that. A drug is anything that you use to remove the effects of a transgression without requiring your complete and utter obedience, okay? That's what it is. And when I looked at drugs from that perspective, I realized that I was a drug addict. You see, when my spirit was transgressed against, when I was insulted spiritually, or when my soul was hurt, instead of facing it, I used food to escape me standing up for myself. Food became my drug. Does that make sense? I did it again. Instead of facing that when I would go home, I hated going home because it was so much chaos there, I used my career to escape the transgression of having a house that was completely dysfunctional, and my career became a drug for me, okay? I also use fantasy. Because my inside world was so chaotic. I had so many conflicting beliefs, conflicting ideologies. And what I would do is I would escape into my imagination instead of bringing my own consciousness into order. So fantasy was a drug for me. And here's another one that a lot of people are in. They use relationships as drugs. They go out here and find another fucking person, a complete whole ass person, and say, I'm too bougie to use cocaine. I'm too bougie to use crack. I'm just gonna get this motherfucking man, and he's gonna be my motherfucking drug. That's what he's gonna do, because I won't deal with myself. I won't dig in deep and deal with my own trauma. I won't deal with the things that I need to heal myself. So I'm gonna focus all of my attention on the outside of myself and escape the effects of this transgression, completely ignored, and get into this motherfucking relationship. That is a drug. So if we want to look at that, I've done several drugs. As I said, my career was a drug. My relationship was a drug. My imagination was a drug. And food was drugs. But here's the thing. I had to sit down and take some time to say, Tiffany, how long you gonna be a fucking coward? Let me tell you something. In my godness, in my goddessness, I am no respecter of persons. I'm really am not. No respecter of fucking persons. But in my mortality, as a human, I'm judgy as fuck. I'm judgy as fuck. And when it came to cannabis, I would look around and I would see people zoning out on cannabis. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't have no motherfucking respect for that. I just did not. The second time I got high on cannabis, it was actually at my ex-husband's 48th, 49th birthday party or something like that. That same girlfriend came in with some brownies. She came in with some brownies and she said, because I knew what it was now. I knew what it was, okay? She came in and she was like, just have a good time. Just relax, Tiffany. Just relax. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to eat a motherfucking brownie, okay? But here's the thing. The brownies was actually good. They was like hot. She had just got them out the oven and shit, and they was warm. And I like food. I told y'all food was my drug, and they had chocolate chips in them and shit. So I ate a whole motherfucking brownie, not knowing what the fuck I was doing, because I didn't understand that kind of stuff. Within an hour, I didn't molest the couch this time. I ended up, what did I do? I spent the next 2 hours explaining to people. I had a whole dissertation on why leprechauns were shiny. In the club, I stopped people from dancing and had them come over to the birthday section that I was celebrating, had them all sit down while I taught them and gave them reasons why leprechauns were shiny. Then, after I got home, I wrote a 15-page dissertation on why leprechauns were shiny. When I awakened the next morning, I said, this is some dumbass shit. I don't want to do this no more. This is dumb. This is making me fucking dumb. This is not making me smarter. This is making me dumb. I don't want to do anything like this at all, ever. The third time that I got high, I think I was 41. I had just recovered. No, I was 40. I had just recovered from a really, really major stroke. It was a bad one, y'all. A really, really bad one. And I was given drugs by my physicians, all these pharmaceuticals, that type of thing. And those drugs that they gave me, they were extremely painful for me. They did not ease my pain. They actually made my pain a lot worse, okay? And my spirit just kept telling me not to take it. I actually went to a Janus monastery. That's what I did. I went to a Janus monastery and I had something. Now, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was ayahuasca. I don't know if it was a cannabis tea. I don't know what it was. But here's the difference. The person that gave me this tea said, Tiffany, you need to stop escaping your reality. Do not use drugs to escape. Use drugs to expand. And that gave me a different perspective altogether. This is what he said. He said, why don't you use this drug or this tea to go down deep into your subconscious and figure out why you keep having these strokes. What is going on that's so horrible in your life that you won't fucking face? Go ahead and figure it out. And I took this tea with that intention. not to escape reality, but to dig down deep in my soul and figure out what in the fuck was going on. I was tired of running from my transgression, and I said, I'm about to be obedient. I'm about to face my inner demons, and that's what I did, and my experience was completely different. Now, I don't know if he had that good shit. I don't know what it was, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was, I don't know what it was. I really, really don't, but it expanded me. I began to see that I was out of alignment with what my spirit needed to flourish. I began to see that I had chosen relationships in my life that my spirit was dying up in that shit, and I had to let them go. I saw that if I did not let those relationships go, I was going to lose my life. And it was this expansive experience, or me expanding my consciousness, that brought me to this truth. You see, when you use drugs to escape, you are running from your consciousness. You are turning away from it, saying, I don't want to have shit to do with it. And I'm going to be honest, I have no fucking respect for that. This is why children stay the fuck away from drugs, because you just need to. Don't get on that shit at all, because most people use it to escape. Don't escape shit. Stand up to your fucking Goliath. Stand up to your dragon and fucking slay it. That I am not going to use anything. I'm not going to use a man. I'm not going to use a career. I'm not going to use anything to distract myself. I am going to elevate in my consciousness. That is what I'm going to do. So after this experience, okay, whatever this herb was or something like that, I began to understand. And for the guy, Cedric, I'm sure you asking me about all this cannabis because maybe you do that. I don't know if you do or if you don't. But here's my suggestion to you. If you are doing it to escape, that's a fucking drug, and you need to check yourself. You really, really do. But do it to expand if you have to do it. Dig down deep into your subconscious and figure out what in the fuck is going on in your life that you got to escape from it. So here's the thing. Heaven, godliness, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is found on the inside of us. It's found on the inside of us. And when we are unconscious to who we truly are, we don't focus on the inside. We focus on the outside. And that's what typically 90% of people focus. They focus on what they see with their two eyes and what's going on the outside of their world, okay? But what's going on the outside of their world is a reflection of what's going on the inside of their world. So if whatever they have going on the outside of their world is so fucking horrible that they got to escape from that, and they turn to drugs, then my question then is, if your outside reality is so fucking horrible, I can just imagine what your inside reality looks like. I can just imagine it. Do not escape. Face it. Leave the fucking drugs alone and say, I'm finna battle this shit. And spend some time alone. Go out in nature. Go camping. Go to the fucking woods. Do whatever you need to do. This is not the time. If your outside reality doesn't have peace, this is not the time for you to be thinking about picking up a fucking girlfriend or a boyfriend. This is not the time for you to be trying to distract yourself with more hours at work. No. Slay your beast. That's what you need to do. I hope that helps you understand my views on drugs. I don't know what else to tell you. I really, really don't. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And I'm going to go ahead and take me a little bite of this brownie. I love y'all, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.